My Teachers Pay Teacher store has been a source of truly passive income for me for 2 or 3 years now, meaning I haven't done anything to my store, I haven't uploaded a single new product, but I'm consistently replacing my teacher salary from my store. However, in 2024, I noticed that my sales were down significantly. Now, it was still replacing my teacher salary from my early years of a teacher before I got my master's and specialist degree. So, I mean, obviously, very happy with that since I'm literally doing nothing. But I decided, all right, I'm teaching people about Teachers Pay Teachers, not really walking the walk here. I had a lot of products that needed a lot of updates, and so I decided to just go for it because that's kind of what I do. I'm an all or nothing kind of gal. And I updated over 300 resources in my Teachers Pay Teacher store. I did have some help. I hired a VA and then someone on my team also helped me, but I did a lot of them myself. And I wanted to go over in this episode what I did to update my store and the results I am already seeing from these updates. So I kind of did 5 major things. So the first thing that I did was I started with my titles. I did not know a lot about SEO, which is search engine optimization and keywords, back when I first started. Then I learned a lot about it, but I never went back and actually updated my titles based on what I learned because I was so busy just helping other teachers with their TPT stores. So I used this new program that wasn't available back when I first started on TPT called Seller Spy. They have a free version, but there's also a paid version that I used. We actually are going to have the creator of Seller Spy, Colleen Swansea, on the podcast in May, and she's making a pretty sweet tutorial just for the members of the Resource Academy. If you want more info about the Resource Academy, just head to my free training, lindsaybowden.com/training. Anyway, she's going to be on the podcast in May, but she created this SEO tool just for TPT because TPT, they have their own search engine algorithm. It's not like Google, it's not like Pinterest, it's just for TPT. And she somehow did data things and computer things, which I don't know how to do. And she made this program that has over 100,000 different keywords, and you can put in your titles and it will give you like a score for your title. You can put in keywords and it'll give you other keywords and how they rank with low competition, high competition, kind of like a stoplight system, green, yellow, red. If it's green, that means it's good. If it's red, that means it's high competition. You can't rank for that. Don't try it. So I used that tool to update all of my titles. And what that is going to do is that's going to give me more views on my resources, because when someone goes to TPT and searches for something, if my titles are optimized, then my resource will pop up in the search. I will rank in the search results. So that's great. So you want your titles to help your resources rank. So check out Seller Spy if you have not already. But just because you are found in the search doesn't mean someone's going to click on your resource and buy it. So the next thing that I did was I updated my covers. Now, I would say that my covers weren't terrible. I actually kind of did a little cover update maybe 2 years ago. My original covers were really, really bad, like chevron, all over the place with fonts. Anyway, so my covers weren't terrible, but I saw some things that I wanted to change. I needed some more contrast with my colors, so I chose a dark green color and then a white, thick, easy to read font for my titles. And I made that really big. I didn't use any cursive or script so that it's easy to read. Then I made sure that my resources were visible but not too big. And if you want kind of an example of this, I'm going to show my TPT store in a second. So I updated all of my covers and I used Canva for that. So I'm a PowerPoint girl and I create all my resources in PowerPoint, but I create all my marketing materials, so covers, thumbnails, previews, in Canva. And it's been really helpful because other people can get in there, like a VA that I hired. She was able to access that file and we could all kind of be working on updating resources at the same time. So I updated all covers. The third thing that I did was I updated thumbnails, or I added thumbnails where there were no thumbnails. So I was doing something that is not best practice, and I was just putting a picture of the resource with the word preview over it for my thumbnails. First of all, you don't need the word preview over it because thumbnails are so small, no one can print that out. So you want people to be able to see the resource without the watermark over it. And the thumbnails are where you can put some features about the resource, like is it no prep? Is it print and go? Are there video lessons included? Is it editable? So those are the things that you can put for your 3 thumbnail pictures, and you want to make sure all 3 of those are filled. I did not have that, so I went and updated all of those, and I used a template in Canva again. And so like all my notes and worksheets had the same kind of general outline for my 3 thumbnails. And then on my task cards, I used the same template for those 3 thumbnails. So I did that for all over 300 resources. Number 4 was I added previews. A lot of my resources didn't have previews, or I was using a preview that was not best practice, which was I was just putting the piece of the resource with the word preview over it. Now, a couple of things about the preview. A preview is a PDF, and so if you just put the resource with no watermark, people can print that out for free. So you're basically giving them the resource for free. What I started doing was I used a 16 by 9 slide in Canva, and I kind of followed the same format as my thumbnails, but I made it bigger because people can download the thumbnail, they can zoom in, they can see better. So I put more features. I put testimonials if I had them from TPT. I just took screenshots and then dragged and dropped them into Canva. Again, I'm going to show you an example in a second. A few of my bigger items like my curriculums, I also have video previews. I didn't do video previews for everything just because I literally didn't have time. But video previews are also a great thing that you can do. And it can just be you showing the resource on your computer and talking through how to use it. It doesn't have to be like in action necessarily or in your classroom. And then the 5th thing that I did was I updated my descriptions. And I actually did this at the same time as my titles. So when I found low competition keywords on SellerSpy, I would also make sure that those keywords were in my snippet, which is the first 2 to 3 sentences of your description. So I did that. I also kind of used some bold text to break up the description. I used a lot of space. I used emojis to really make sure that it was clear and easy to read, and that teachers could really understand what was included, how it was used, what topics were covered, how many pages were there, was there an answer key? By the way, always include an answer key. So I updated all of my descriptions as well. And then here's just kind of like a little bonus tip. You know, for the most part, spent the majority of my time making really high quality resources, and I was happy with most of my resources, but there were some that desperately needed some updates, like some color by numbers that I had created the color by number actual coloring sheet in PowerPoint with shapes. And I mean, they still sold okay, but I actually purchased some color by number clip art with some really nice looking coloring pages and updated those resources. And then just a few other tweaks from really old first resources that I made back in like 2017, 2018 that desperately needed some updates. I updated those as well. From that, I was able to, just in February, and I just did this, so I'm assuming that this is going to continue to rise. In February, compared to last year, I have increased my sales by 38%. So I'm going to switch into my TPT store now and just show you a visual. Here's just the proof of the 38% increase from last year, and this month isn't even over yet. So hopefully that will rise a little bit, and then I hope throughout the year it will continue to rise. My views will continue to rise, and my conversions will continue to rise. And then here's just a little glance at my store. I did have a rebrand about a year ago with new colors, and so I wanted my TPT store colors to kind of match that as well. And so this is the different fonts that I was talking about, and that contrast with the dark green and the white text. And then you can see that my cover photo, you can see clearly some of the pages. And then I have, it's Algebra 1, and then I have kind of one little eye-catching characteristic that would stop the scroll when people are looking at cover photos, and that is that it includes video lessons. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Here are my 3 thumbnails. So what's included? It includes video lessons and kind of what that's appropriate for, the topics covered, and then the preview looks very similar to the thumbnails, but it has a little bit more. Why you'll love this. So for this one, it has guided notes, and there's plenty of practice sheets. It includes video lessons again. So anything that you think would encourage a buyer to buy, put that. It's print and go, it's easy teaching, plenty of practice problems, answer key included. I also have screenshots of testimonials. If you don't have testimonials, just don't include that. And then let me show you the description. So this is the snippet that I was talking about, the first 2 to 3 sentences. So box and whisker plots was the keyword that I'm trying to rank for here. And then what's included, I have some emojis here. You can get those if you have an Apple computer. You can just get those from your keyboard, or if not, Emojipedia, you can just copy and paste from that website. And then what's included, you may also like. And so that is what I updated. And then I'll just also show you the color by number that I did. I'll show you the update for that one. You're gonna laugh when you see the old one. So this is one that desperately needed an actual update to the resource. A lot of the other ones, in fact, most of them did not need an actual update to the resource, but this one definitely did. So I kind of just cleaned this part up a little bit and added a little bit of space. But the main thing was I changed the color picture. Let me just show you what it used to look like. It used to just look like that, which isn't terrible, but I just made that in PowerPoint. But this one just looks a little bit more professional. And I bought that clip art. I can use it for other things. I just reinvested the money that I made from TPT to buy that clip art. And that is all that I did to update my TPT store. If you are interested in starting your own TPT store, then make sure to check out the link below. We have a free training, lindsaybaden.com/training. It will help you create a resource and also start your Teachers Pay Teacher store. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.